That's right. You see that? I bet you don't have her. I do. Sucks to be you, doesn't it? Anyway, here's Please Stay as requested by Michael Afton. I am so sorry that I just decided to clown on you guys I happened to get her in a poll like 3 days ago. So here we are. Anyway, I'm going to be listening to this because Michael Afton in the comments of the last video wanted me to get to this one. And that's about it. I don't know anything else about this song. So without further ado, let's go. Okay. Vibing with the 80s energy. Kind of feels like that's where it's going, at least. Like a B horror movie. Wait, is that Christine? Is the car? Is that Christine? That's got to be at least inspired by Christine. I was right. This is totally 80s. This is slasher film coded. That's why it looked weird and familiar. A little bit spooky. I'm just vibing with this one. It's very minimalist. All things considered. Ooh. Oh, is that just like the intro? I know they do those a lot. Yeah, this feels like it has more punch to it. I know it's a boss theme, just based on what the thumbnail said, but... I really appreciate this energy. And I love that Reverse 1999 pays homage to this sort of thing. Just because they can. It's kind of their thing to do, you know? I think it's interesting that it doesn't sound like any specific themes from anything I've seen, though. I kind of expected it to be more filled with references if they were going to go the route of, like, B-movie horror. If I'm right on that, I'm assuming I am. The visuals are screaming it. Oh, come on! A Nightmare at Green Lake? Come on, that's totally an 80s horror thing. I mean, it had the sound down, like I mentioned. I like that they had that, but I also kind of expected it to sound more, like, referential, I suppose, like using motifs from other things, or, like, just close enough. In a way, I kind of respect that it didn't, but also, I think it would have been fun to be like, oh, look, there it is, like, there's the cool theme, like, there's the Halloween theme or something, you know? It just didn't sound like any of that, so, again, kind of nice that it didn't in its own way, but I was kind of expecting that to happen the whole time. We need some real Halloween music up in here. Or, if you're, you know, younger like me. Anyway, so, you know, comment if you know either of those. I'm sure you know at least one of them. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. So this song is fine. I don't think there's too much going on to it. It sounds more like a video game about horror music than it does horror, you know, like even down to the campiness of slasher. I don't know if this fits the bill. It definitely fits the energy, but it doesn't fit what I would have hoped they would have done. It's okay, you know, like it's serviceable. It's like the Friday the 13th video game, you know, it's not great. And it was definitely meme-worthy, but it could have been different. It could have been better. You know, like there's aspects, there's levels here to like what I'm trying to say. This doesn't do anything wrong. But once I started to realize that this was supposed to be an homage to like 80s horror movies, slashers, and maybe even B movies, the quicker I realized that this doesn't really sound like that. As somebody who loves that era of movie in general, and just like not just horror movies, but like that era of movies in general, I have a firm appreciation for the cinema composition that happens in them, as well as I do the movies themselves. And it's just like, this could have been a little bit more direct with how they did this. Again, it's not bad, but this really feels more like a Double Dragon Cabinet Arcade like theme song, like a beat 'em up for Halloween themed characters than it does a Halloween themed event, in my opinion. I'm not sure what this event was like. Maybe it was a beat 'em up for all I know. I doubt it, but maybe. It's a different sound than I really thought it was going to be. I was expecting some more of that flair that those movies had, those like really iconic ideas in their themes, and maybe why I wanted some of it to be referenced in there as well, because there are, as I played two there, albeit one of them's more the 90s, two iconic horror themes right there that the second you hear them, if you heard it once ever, you know what it's attached to. And they could have done that. I've seen the work that Reverse has done. I know they can do that. I know they have the talent in that team to manage something that was a little bit more cinematic in a way, something that felt a little bit more like it was actually a part of a film, compared to this, which almost feels like a weird middle child syndrome going on of this sort of era, where it's like, it's not quite what you wanted it to be, but also it kind of does get the vibe of like that 80s window, if you're talking the video games, and like, yeah, of course, cabinet arcades, sure, even the dawn of home-based video games and like having the NES and everything would have this kind of sound. Super Nintendo more likely due to the like development of how they sound, so maybe 90s, but we're starting to split hairs there. That's just me being a fucking nerd. But that's kind of what bugs me with it, is because I know that they could have gone more cinematic with it. I've heard them do that. But it also does serve a purpose that is for a video game, so I can't really be mad about it either. And what they were doing was just kind of like dancing around. I think it was just an actual E. It might have been an E minor. I'm not entirely positive. It might have even switched at one point, but they were kind of sticking around that more than they were the actual chords. So there's still facets of like those tight notes in there that is a very like 80s movie thing to do, an 80s themed thing to do, very dense and dissonant. And I think they also lifted up to an A for the second part, and it's again kind of the same thing. And it's just again, there's dissonance there. They're doing something, but I want the energy of it to be greater, more grand, because I'm expecting it to be a cinematic thing. If that's what the actual thing that they're going for is like the movie side of stuff, they kind of missed the mark on that, in my opinion. But if the point was supposed to be this campy video game sort of adaptation of the 80s, then they kind of nailed it with that, because that's exactly what this sounds like. But if the point was to be more cinematic, then they dropped the ball by making it sound a little bit too campy. You know, like even talking about referencing things like Christine, which I'm still pretty sure is what they're referencing there with the car. It's like, that's a campy B movie. That's a Stephen King weird one that like a lot of people know about, but because they've seen it on like late night TV specials, not because they went to go see it in theaters necessarily, unless you were born in that era maybe. And it just kind of bums me out that this is the direction they decided to go. It's not the wrong direction. It's just maybe the incorrect fork in the road to pick this sound, because there's really not much going on for that to sound like a movie. And I feel like, at least from the visuals here, that's what they were going for. So if that is the case, this might be one of the unfortunate songs. I'm not going to call it bad, because like I said, it's not, and it does kind of capture that campiness, but it doesn't really hit the mark of being a proper homage to that era, and that is kind of a bummer to me as somebody who really enjoys that era and loves the sound of it just as I do the cinematic aspects of it. It's just, kind of a shame, I suppose. But that's more my bias than anything else at the end of the day, so I can't really docket any points for that. But I do think I'm kind of running myself in a circle saying that over and over again, that it just wasn't quite what I was hoping it was going to be, but it's okay. So, you know, a solid, it's mid, but I can't really say this is one of my favorites from the game, unless, again, the point was to be a campy video game and sound like a campy video game. Then sure, you know, a few more points to it. But otherwise, this one's kind of just all right. Unfortunately, it does happen once in a while, and this happens to be one of those days. So thank you all so very much for watching. I don't have much more to add to this one. If you enjoyed this video despite that, and you want to request something else from Reverse, by all means, drop in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!